What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to your home for all things combat sports.
Yo.
So, Nick, it looks like Shavkhat Rakhmonov versus Geoff Neal is all but made after a little social media back and forth. Listen, I love this fight. Geoff Neal is on a 2-fight win streak. He handed Vicente Luque his first ever KO loss. And Shavkhat Rakhmonov, I mean, what more can you say about him? The guy's an absolute monster, undefeated, 100% finish rate. I think the winner of this fight is going to set themselves up for a title run in 2023.
I agree. This makes me happy to see him going at somebody else a little bit. And I know he's not going to be the Khamzat Chimaev, the full-blown bad guy. We're never going to see that out of Shavkhat. But I do like that he's trying to get his name out there. He's trying to showcase to the world, look, I'm a straight-up killer. I'd finish every fight that I get into, and I never don't get my hand raised. But sometimes that's not enough. Unfortunately, you have to do more than that. So it makes me happy to see him finding somebody, finding a target and aiming for it. And Geoff Neal, look, he's nobody's punk. He's always game. He's fighting the toughest fighters in the division. When nobody wants to fight a guy, you'll find Geoff Neal and Neil Magny's hands raised. Those are about the only two guys that are always the squeaky wheels trying to yell, saying, let me get that fight. They don't even care if it's the hardest fight. And this is a perfect example of that. Shavkhat is definitely one of those guys that managers are getting calls about, hey, you want your fighter to fight Shavkhat Rakhmonov? And they're quickly getting a no. They're like, I don't even have to talk to my...
Sorry, you've got the wrong number.
Right. They don't even have to talk to their fighter to know that that's a big fat no. They'll wait and see who they offer him next. But Geoff Neal is nobody's punk, and I really do think that this will be the toughest test for Shavkhat Rakhmonov yet so far in the UFC.
I think for sure it will be. I mean, they don't call him hands of steel for nothing. Vicente Luque had never been finished via KO until Geoff Neal put him down. And also, Geoff Neal has wins over Santiago Ponzinibbio. He's got a victory over Bilal Muhammad, who a lot are talking about making a title run next year. He's got some pretty signature victories to his name, and he's really come on strong this last year. And so you put that against somebody like Shavkhat, who is undefeated, that's surging right now, that a lot of people are saying could even be better than Chimaev. And I think you set yourself up for a great start to the UFC 2023 calendar year, because it does look like this is likely going to be the main event on the first card of the year. So that will also make it a 5-round fight if it does in fact get booked as the main event, which I think is very interesting, because Shavkhat Rakhmonov is a tough guy to sit in there with for 3 rounds, and nobody's ever made it the distance in 3. So if Geoff Neal could even make it to 25 minutes at the end of it, I know he wouldn't look at it as that, but it would certainly be a moral victory for some.
Yeah, Geoff Neal has what it takes to go all 25 minutes, and he's not somebody that's easy to get out of there. If there were a time for Shavkhat Rakhmonov's 100% finishing rate to get ended, this would be the fight that would do it. Geoff Neal, I mean, he's real good on the feet with his hands. He's got precise striking, but he's also really good with the wrestling, the takedown defense, and the jiu-jitsu submission defense. So I find this to be the perfect next step for Shavkhat Rakhmonov. Now, I don't know what the odds are. I would assume they're a bit lopsided in the favor of Shavkhat Rakhmonov, and for good reason. This guy is all but a UFC champion. I just see this guy taking off over the next year. I think 2023 is going to be the year of Rakhmonov. I think he's going to come on hot. And I know we aren't making predictions right now, but if I had to put my money on it, I think it's going to be Shavkhat by submission victory, and probably within the first couple rounds. I think this guy is just too good. He's so much to handle, and once he does kind of demoralize you on the feet, he looks to take you down, and as you've seen, he's perfect with 8 knockouts and now 8 submissions as well. So this is trouble for Geoff Neal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Shavkhat Rakhmonov is going to be a UFC champion probably within the next 12 to 18 months, and I think he's going to probably get past Geoff Neal. And the reason I say that is because Geoff Neal is very dangerous on the feet, but so is Shavkhat, and this is going to be a long fight, and Shavkat's a patient fighter. He's a very technical fighter, and I think he can exploit Geoff in certain places, one being against the cage in the clinch situation. I think he's going to be able to do some damage there. I think he's going to be able to get Neal down off the cage and advance position and win some rounds via ground and pound. I do think Shavkat's going to win, but I think his perfect finish streak is going to come to an end. I think Geoff Neal will make it all 25 minutes. Mr. Hands of Steel is extraordinarily tough, and I don't think Shavkat's going to get him out of there, but I am predicting, early prediction, it may change, 4 rounds to 1, 49-46 victory for Shavkhat Rakhmonov, and then he's going to be off to the races in 2023.
precise prediction, but I think that's a pretty good one. And, you know, Geoff Neal has been a friend and supporter of the channel for a while, so my heart tells me go with Geoff Neal. But if I'm one of those guys that likes to make bets on fights, if I'm somebody that's just looking at this and looking at the landscape of the welterweight division, you can't help but look at that monster standing there with Shavkhat Rakhmonov, who might be the most lethal fighter on the entire UFC roster, and as of right now, seems to be more invincible and more perfect than Khamzat Chimaev.
No doubt. Thanks for watching this video, guys. We're your hub for all things combat sports. If that's your jam, we appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video, and drop us a comment down below. We'll see you next time.
Peace.